Expand vaccine pass, phase out quarantine. Two expert advisors for the government, Ivan Hong and Yuan Gok-yong, suggest that more social distancing measures can be relaxed while vaccination rate should be further boosted. They suggested that Hong Kong should expand in vaccine pass scheme while gradually relax its social distance measures so that the population can achieve a hybrid immunity from inoculation and a low level of natural infection before winter. Microbiologist Yuan Gok-yong and clinical professor Ivan Hong have made a suggestion in an article they penned with two other colleagues from the University of Hong Kong, clinical assistant professor Siddhartha and honorary clinical associate professor David Lung. They also suggested that the city should phase out its mandatory quarantine requirement for travelers. Several indicators showed that Hong Kong's COVID situation is in fact moving to endemicity, wrote the academics, pointing out that the Omicron variant has evolved to be more flu-like considering its potential to cause symptoms and deaths. They call on the authorities to approve vaccines for those aged 6 months to 3 years old to further boost the population's immunization level. Vaccination among elderly people should also be pushed up, they suggested, through further expanding the vaccine pass requirement to places such as markets and supermarkets. Vaccine pass use should be maintained until another winter has passed, they said. It is also time to further relax the social distancing curbs in place, the professor suggested, so that the population can also be protected. The background immunity triggered by natural infection with Omicron subvariants. We have to admit that the social distancing measures that we have adopted in the first 2 years of the pandemic were not as effective during the fifth wave, they wrote, while nothing that universal masking is still necessary to reduce virus exposure. And they called for the abandoning of building lockdowns and compulsory testing, describing these measures as expensive, disruptive, and wasteful. They should now be abandoned because we do want a low level of virus circulation to boost our airway mucosal immunity, they said. The experts also proposed that mandatory quarantine for travelers can be phased out. Our border policy should prioritize opening with the rest of the world as the mainland continues its zero COVID-19 policy, they suggested. They said a mandatory hotel quarantine for people coming from overseas can be shortened and changed to home quarantine with frequent testing, and eventually replaced by daily test and a bracelet tracker for 7 days. But they said inbound travelers should be banned from visiting restaurants and pubs for 7 days after their arrival. Looking ahead, the academics said they expect new variants to continue to emerge after next winter, but expect the disease to be mild if the city can reach a full vaccination rate of 95% and a high level of hybrid immunity by then.